We have all been there, deeply immersed in an edit. Everything is flowing perfectly, and suddenly you hit a frustrating wall. You find a missing moment, an awkward jump, or a scene that desperately needs some breathing room, but you have no extra footage to work with. Usually you are forced to dig through stock libraries, pay for expensive clips, or settle for generic filler that feels like a placeholder. Or perhaps you spend endless, soul-crushing hours manually slicing a long Zoom recording just to find one usable 2-second moment. But there is a fourth path now, and it is the one I find myself reaching for more and more every single day: Vizard. Think of it not just as another tool, but as your own personal AI editor that truly understands the nuances of storytelling. It does not just throw random effects at your footage. It intelligently reads your long video, finds the moments that actually matter, and transforms them into ready-to-post clips. These clips are automatically tailored to fit the specific platform and vibe you need, making the entire process fast, consistent, and scalable. Why does a tool like Vizard even matter in the grand scheme of your production workflow? Because B-roll and short clips are the essential glue of modern editing that smooth transitions, add context, and set the mood. Without these elements, even the most polished A-roll can feel surprisingly flat or unfinished. Getting good B-roll, the kind that feels truly authentic and intentional, usually costs a significant amount of time and money. Between travel, complex scheduling, and expensive reshoots, many creators simply do not have that kind of runway. Vizard does not replace your camera, but it removes the tedious busy work that keeps you from actually publishing your content. Here is how I like to think about it. When you upload your long footage into Vizard, you are not asking it to invent pixels out of thin air. Instead, you are asking it to perform 3 critical tasks: find the viral moments, assemble them into tidy edits, and help you get them live. The result is faster workflows, fewer frustrating bottlenecks, and the freedom to focus on your ideas rather than file management. Let me pull back the curtain a bit, not to get nerdy for the sake of it, but so you can understand why this actually works. When you upload a long video, Vizard analyzes it on multiple sophisticated layers. It parses the audio for natural peaks and emphatic phrases, and it looks for significant visual changes like camera moves, smiles, and gestures. It recognizes faces and on-screen text, and it even runs a quick virality score based on pacing, novelty, and emotional signals. Those specific signals then become a ranked list of candidate clips for you to review. Then there is the smart suggestions layer, which is easily my favorite part of the process. You can type a simple direction like make a 15-second highlight for LinkedIn or a short, punchy reel for TikTok. Vizard then expands that directive into a comprehensive edit plan, deciding which moments to stitch and where to punch up the music. It even handles which captions to auto-generate and which thumbnail frames will pop the most. Think of it like a prompt compiler for editing. You provide the intent, and the system enriches it into a cinematic, platform-ready clip. Model choice matters quite a bit, which is why Vizard offers different editing styles like viral, cinematic, educational, or short-form comedy. You can choose the editorial approach that perfectly matches your brand identity. It is exactly like picking a lens or a preset. You have the same footage, but with an entirely different narrative emphasis. Some other tools force you into one single workflow or expect manual tweaking for every single post. Vizard's presets are tuned for the job. Whether you are a solo creator pushing out daily shorts or a small team trying to scale content. And then there is the feature that actually keeps creators sane: the scheduling tool. The auto-schedule feature is a total lifesaver for busy professionals. You just set your posting frequency, choose your platforms, and Vizard will queue up the clips and publish them exactly according to your plan. No more juggling spreadsheets, confusing folders, or looming deadlines. Couple that with the content calendar where you can visualize, edit, and reassign posts, and suddenly what was a logistical nightmare becomes a calm, repeatable system. Okay, enough talk about the features. Let's see it in action with 3 quick examples I ran through using the same long-form piece. Example 1 is simple and realistic. I had a long sit-down interview where someone talked through a workflow. I wanted a tight, authentic clip to drop into a tutorial thread, so I told Vizard to create a 20-second highlight of the best speed hack tips. It scanned the interview, picked the moment the speaker leaned in, trimmed it cleanly, applied captions, and suggested a punchy thumbnail. The result was a natural, human-feeling clip that looks like it was hand-edited, but I did not even have to touch a timeline. Perfect for reposting as a quick educational nugget. Example 2 is cinematic. I wanted a moodier piece for a brand channel using the same session footage. I chose the cinematic editing style and asked for a 30-second montage focusing on motion and atmosphere. Vizard repurposed B-roll, layered ambient music, added filmic color grading, and timed gentle speed ramps. It felt like a professional mini trailer. You can achieve this without hiring an expensive editor, and you keep that visual consistency across multiple clips. Example 3 is something that would be creatively impossible without a ton of hassle. I needed a short explainer that visualized data flow, which would normally require motion graphics artists and hours of compositing. Vizard pulled a tight clip where the speaker described the system, overlaid animated motion graphic templates, and generated complementary captions. The result was an eye-catching short that translated an abstract idea into something viewers could actually follow. You get polished, impossible-looking visuals without the massive production overhead. Now, I will be honest, Vizard is not the only tool in the space. Adobe's Firefly, for example, is great at synthetically generating new visuals and creating entirely new B-roll pixels. But that is a different problem entirely. If you need brand new CGI or surreal scenes, a tool like Firefly might be the right call. The downside is those solutions can get pricey and they do not solve the other half of the problem. They do not easily turn multi-hour recordings into dozens of platform-ready clips and get them posted on a schedule. Other editors and apps do parts of the job, but some are cheap and clunky, while others are powerful but require manual setup. What I love about Vizard is how it combines the things creators actually need. It is not trying to replace every tool in your stack. It is trying to remove the grind that keeps you from creating consistently. This matters for creators of every size. If you are a one-person show, Vizard helps you post consistently without burning out. If you are a small team, it scales your output so you can test formats without blowing the schedule. For brands, it turns long-form content into a pipeline of short assets that feed ads and community touchpoints. Prompts and intent are becoming the new creative interface. Instead of wrestling with tedious cut points, you describe what you want, and the system turns that brief into concrete outputs. That is not magic, it is workflow evolution. And for me, that is the most exciting part. Helping creators move from idea to publish in minutes, not days. So whether you are patching a hole in an edit or building an entire montage, Vizard changes how you work. It is not about firing cameras or scrapping your process. It is about making the parts that used to take forever suddenly trivial. If you are curious, toss a long video into a tool like this and try the viral and cinematic presets side by side. You will see how the same raw footage can become multiple stories depending on the edit model you pick. And if scheduling eats your day, playing with the auto schedule and content calendar will feel like getting your time back. At the end of the day, the future of editing is not just cutting, it is generating purpose-driven edits. Vizard helps you do that fast, reliably, and in a way that respects real creators' constraints. Try it, experiment, and you might be surprised how many good clips were hiding inside your long videos all along.